All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something, well, something pretty fundamental. We're talking about 4 rules for life. And look, these can be kind of painful truths, the kind we usually try to sweep under the rug. But here's the thing, if you can actually face them, they are unbelievably powerful. I mean, really think about it. What are the rules we're actually supposed to live by? We get all this advice, right? From everyone, everywhere. But what are the real non-negotiable principles? Are there some core truths out there that, if we just got them, could change, well, everything? So let's get right into it. We're going to break down 4 of these truths. And yeah, I know, the word painful might sound a little heavy, but what if that's the wrong way to look at it? What if these aren't just hard facts to swallow? What if they're actually keys, truths that can set you free? All right, first up, this one is the starting point for everything. It's the big one, the catalyst that kicks this whole conversation off. The clock really does start now. It's a phrase we've all heard a million times, right? Life is short. But have you ever stopped and really let that sink in? I mean, truly absorbed it? This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is the main event. And that realization doesn't have to be some dark, morbid thought. It's actually the complete opposite. It's a fire starter. Seriously, accepting that our time is limited is maybe the best reason to live with some real purpose, to stop putting things off, and to zero in on what actually matters. It's an incredible motivator. Okay, so that leads us perfectly into our second truth. Because if our time here is finite, then it really makes you wonder, how should we be keeping score? What's the real scorecard for a life? This one, man, this one hits right where we live today, doesn't it? In this world obsessed with stuff, we're bombarded with messages telling us our value is all tied up in our possessions, the car, the phone, the labels on our clothes. But this truth, it just blows that whole idea right out of the water. And when you see it laid out like this, the contrast is just stark. On one side, you've got the stuff we own, the externals. On the other, who we actually are. Our values, what we do, how we treat people. It forces you to ask, which of these columns really defines a life? This whole truth is about pushing us to stop grading ourselves based on what we have and start measuring our lives by who we are. Okay, so if we decide to ditch the material scorecard and chase a life of meaning instead, what's that going to take? Well, that brings us to truth number 3. And you can think of this one as like the price of admission for anything worthwhile. Nobody loves hearing this one, but it's just unavoidable. There is always some pain before success. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Building a business, learning an instrument, getting in shape, that road to getting good is paved with struggle and discomfort. This truth just says, hey, that's normal. That's part of the deal. You see it right here. We all start at step 1 with the dream, the aspiration, and we can all picture step 3, the success at the end. But that part in the middle, step 2, the struggle, that's where it all happens. That's the grind. It isn't a sign that you're failing. It's the sign that you're actually doing the work. That pain is just the effort required. And sorry, there are no shortcuts around. And that brings us to our 4th and final truth. This might be the most humbling one of all. It's the final lesson, and it's all about how quickly things can disappear. Just let this one sit for a second. Everything can change in a split second. It's a pretty staggering thought, and it reminds us just how fragile everything we build around us really is. We build our lives on these pillars of stability. We count on our careers, our health, our relationships. We make our plans, we get into our routines, and we start to believe that these things are permanent, that they'll just always be there. And then, gone. In a second. One phone call, one test result, one piece of news, and the world you thought you knew just isn't the same. Now, the point here isn't to make you anxious. It's to make you appreciate what you have right now. So, let's put it all together. We've got these 4 truths. Life is short, you're not your stuff, growth hurts, and it can all vanish in an instant. When you look at them all at once, a totally different picture starts to form. It's not a picture of pain at all. It's a picture of power. And this is where that shift from pain to power really happens. The painful truth that life is short, that gives you the liberating power to live with intention. The truth that you are not your things, that gives you the power to define your own worth. Understanding that pain comes before success, that gives you the power to embrace the actual process. And accepting that change is instant, well, that gives you the incredible power to appreciate the now. And this really brings us to the final question to chew on. Yeah, facing these truths can be uncomfortable, no doubt about it. But let me ask you this. Is ignoring them any less painful? Living a life where you're just going through the motions, chasing the wrong things, being terrified of the struggle, and taking everything for granted? Maybe, just maybe, the real pain isn't in knowing these truths. It's in trying to live without them.